Hello everybody, how you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's going to be an interesting night. It's not because something like that, but it's great that they've come so far from the division they're in. I presume they're in League Two. I don't know, and check it out. But yeah, coming in and earning the right to play one of the best teams in Europe in this cup competition is in itself a big achievement. So well done, Salford. But what's interesting is the return of John Stones in the position is playing in, which is very interesting. He started to play in a CDM position, which I don't know it. I mean, a lot of channels are giving a lot of different, the lineup structure. Some are saying Kusanov right back, Stones center back, and Rico Lewis plays in the midfield, along with Nico Gonzalez, with Reinders as a cam, and Foden, Marmoush, and Sharky. But few others are saying Kusanov right back, Kusanov aligned the two center backs, Lewis right back, Aitnauri left back, Stones, Nico, Reinders, and Marmoush left, Sharky right, and Foden through the middle. Sorry, Marmoush. Yes, Foden as a false nine through the middle. So it's interesting to see couple of lineups in there. You just don't know. You just don't know how. You just don't know how it's gonna pan out. But good to see that Doku will be back shortly, and Erling Haaland. I think they're giving late February as a return timeline, but I think Erling Haaland will be back sooner. I think, especially with the title race and how it is. Probably, I think deserved rest. A week's rest is what he needed actually, because we play next Saturday, early hours of Sunday Indian time. We play Newcastle, so it's almost a rest of a week and a half, you would say, till he played. He played against Fulham, so it's actually going to be interesting. It's kicked off and City on the wall. I'm just watching where is John Stones playing. It will be interesting. Nico Gonzalez, yeah, it's Rico Lewis playing in the midfield. To be honest, Kushner right back. So Stones is playing at centre back. It's just a normal this thing which will strike it off. But Aitnauri on the left. Aitnauri has been brilliant, literally. Rora Island Aitnauri has been brilliant. It's his first touch. He can easily be a left winger, right winger. He can play in midfield right now. His touch is so good. Nico Gonzalez, Rico Lewis. That's a bad pass there from Rico Lewis. But the question everybody's asking is, does Rico Lewis have all of the physical attributes to play in a City midfield? I mean, yes, Nico Riley definitely has, but people are saying Rico Lewis needs to bulk up and all. I don't think the best midfielders in this league have always bulked up and stuff. To be honest, you have with David Silva, Samir Nasri, two examples. They're not the bulkiest of people, but they knew how to read the game. You have to be quicker in your mind when you don't have those physical attributes. That's the thing. Many people actually say about David Silva. A lot of people were skeptical when Silva came into the club, but But then David Silva, you look at what David Silva has become. So with Rico Lewis, people saying Rico Lewis needs to bulk up and all to have a future in this team. I disagree. What he needs to have is a bit more quick in his decision making. He cannot take so much time on the ball. He cannot be caught on the ball. Pass and move, especially in the position, midfield position, which Pep is grooming in for. Yes, right back, I agree, have to be a bit more bulked up to deal with the physical demands of this league. But in the midfield, I don't think that is a necessity. At Nauri, Ryan Sherky. Almost a superb ball there from Ryan Sherky. It's a foul on Salford player there, but yeah, so quick in his mind. That's the only thing I would say. Salford City are going already goalkeeper tries to take the free kick extremely long. So let's see. Salford City's intentions here are very clear. Be physical and get on Manchester City. They quickly realize they cannot play through our press. Good defending. This is extremely good defending from Ryan Nauri. Nauri is just against Fulham as well. I think it was Oscar Bob who was going through, and Nauri had a great recovery tackle there in the box. So Nauri has just been brilliant in terms of. He's offside. I think he's definitely offside. It looked offside. Oh, the flag's not gone up. That's interesting, but it looked offside. The flag's not gone up. Everybody, even Ryan Cherky is surprised that the not gone up. I think, but Nico Gonzalez. Reinders, there's a ball on right now. He gets the ball back from Reinders. And what a goal! Wow, what a goal that is from Ryan Nauri. Wow, what a goal. Was there a touch on the way? I don't know. Or did it go straight up at Nauri because the angle was always against him? But let's see. Was there a touch? Was there a touch? I don't know. They're congratulating him for the Nauri goal. Come on, City, come on. I don't know. Let's see. Reinders definitely on side. There was no touch. The keeper should not get beat from there. That the near post, especially. I thought there was a deflection there. That is unbelievable. The keeper just cannot get beat from there. On that one is near post, I think. Keeper just cannot get beat from there. Phil Foden, there's a ball on there. Omar Marmoush gets to it first. Great ball by Foden. I hope he plays them to Haaland with such speed. Whenever Haaland runs like this, Foden at least till now has not been that decisive in putting the ball through the first time, which is done here for Marmoush. The run from Marmoush is excellent. Again, Aitnauri, brilliant there. Brilliant understanding. Reinders Aitnauri. Fantastic. Nico Gonzalez has to go to Aitnauri here. Nico Gonzalez has to go to Aitnauri. He's keeping the width. Yes, they go to Aitnauri. Aitnauri back to Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez back to Reinders. Reinders to Sherky. Sherky has to find Foden there. There is Kushino waiting on the right, but I think they'll go for Aitnauri. Foden. Aitnauri. Nico Gonzalez, the passing has been absolutely crisp today. It's been very, very good. Rico Lewis, that is what he's a little bit indecisive on the ball. Rico Lewis, he needs to. That is a fantastic piece of skill from Reinders. It's given as a Dorrington own goal. Right. That's what I was wondering. I think there was a little bit of deflection there. But either way, the keeper cannot get beaten at the near post. Like that. Deflection is there, which means maybe you can excuse him a bit more because the ball came in into the middle. There was a knee there of. Yes, there was a knee there. Yeah, yeah. Didn't notice that. But yeah. But again, the endeavor from Ryan now has been brilliant there. Especially that combination, 1-2 go. We have not had that left such a left back, no, in a long time. Who can take those 1-2s and go? Since Pepe's come, I do not think we have had such a fullback. 1-2 go with pace. Who's absolutely technical on the ball. We have had Zinchenko, but they are different kind of fullbacks. And look at the ball. That is a beautiful ball again. Yes, the keeper came out, but again, right now he's in the zone. He's pinging in those through balls. Wow. Right now he's just coming to the fore. The time of the season, that is just wow. Omar Marmoush with the touch. Omar Marmoush there. Omar Marmoush, Rico Lewis, Nico Gonzalez, right? Ryan Sherky. Right now, inside Ryan Sherky. Now he's gone on to the outside. Wow, Sherky started on the left hand side after a long time and it's just been brilliant. And it's because it's generally starting on the right for us, right, or in the central midfield role, attacking midfield role, but never on the left. He's combining exceptionally with Ryan Atnauri, Ryan Sherky there. That was a difficult one. To credit to the defender for reading it brilliantly. Look at Rico Lewis there. I'll tell you, look at Rico Lewis there. He holds on to the ball and he thinks he can use his technicality to get out. I'll tell you the greatest technicians in football, your David Silvas, your Sergio Busquets, your Xavis, even though they have superior technical skills, they never use it to get out of awkward situations. They do not allow those awkward situations to even come. In fact, they're one step ahead of the defender. By the time the defender comes to you, the ball is gone. Oof, there is so much space created. I think that is what Rico Lewis needs to do, not bulking up. Not bulking up. That is not the answer. That is what Rico Lewis needs to bloody do. That's a great run by the Salford City player, and it's a corner. Well defended by City. Manchester City, I mean. Omar Marmoush is a master at counter attacks. He's running. That's a very good ball. That's a very good ball there under the circumstances and the pressure he was in. Be honest, Marmoush did very well there. That was the best pass he could find. The pass looked awkward, a bit ugly as well, but that was the best pass he could find. Rico Lewis playing in that box to box role. I think that's the best role for him, to be honest. Nico Riley. It's Max Align. I'm sorry, Max Align. In fact, Nico Riley is not playing Max Align. In fact, very good game. Ryan Sherky, Reinhard Nauri. The Ryan twins have just been absolutely devastating down that left hand side. A Premier League team would struggle with those connections. They're so good. I think this is the permanent place of Rico Lewis box to box. And Pep didn't say jokingly when he said if Rico Lewis had a bit more physicality and height, he would be the equivalent of Jude Bellingham because he's absolutely up there technically, small spaces. He is brilliant, Rico Lewis. But let us see how he evolves, to be honest. Excellent defending again. Max Align's been impressive up to this point. Right, cushion out there. Good defending, I would say, by the Salford City players. Very good defending. Aligned, confident, coming forward. It's interesting with the centre back situation because Victor Rees is going to be back after an outstanding spell. I think sadly Jumaba has to go with the signing of Gay, especially. I think Jumaba, I don't know what they'll see for him, but lot of centre backs. Alliance done brilliantly. Yes, he's had a shaky, you know, Manchester derby and all, but that's fine. Young player, 18, 19, but in general, he's been excellent defensively. I mean, how many teams around Europe have two left-footed, two-footed centre backs? We have Gay and Elaine who are absolutely comfortable on both the feet. So it's going to be interesting with what happens with Elaine next season. Nico Gonzalez, Rico Lewis, Kushano. It's almost a midfield three. Good ball to pick up Ryan Nauri. He's not offside. He's not offside. He's been holding that line brilliantly. Not offside even once. Ah, difficult shot. Very difficult shot. Was it Foden with the attempt? It's Sherky with the attempt, to be honest. Very difficult shot, but worth a try. Definitely worth a try. City's manipulating the ball exceptionally well. I mean, City have played, it was Exeter Town in the last round. Hope I got the place spelling right. But yeah, we haven't kept the ball this efficiently even against Exeter Town. That Fulham second half, we literally toyed with Fulham. So the way we are keeping the ball is outstanding. Especially in these last two, three games against into this squad, we are almost becoming a double-edged weapon now. We are devastating on the counter, and also now we are picking up with that possession-based football, which many thought Pep would leave out, but Pep, I think that element will always be there in all of Pep's teams. A little bit of that possession-based football. Ryan Sharkey, Ryan does. Aitnauri has to put it in, but it's offside. I think it's offside, so it's fine. John Stones was offside. Good to see Stones back. I think Stones is gonna leave. The reason they bought KE is because I think Stones is gonna leave. I don't see where they're gonna retain Stones on 250 and then pay Gay 250. Not gonna happen. I think Gay was Stones replacement. That's where the wage is also almost matched. I don't see us having two centre backs on both on 250, and one of the centre back is injured for most of the time. Sad to see John Stones go, but that's how it is. Paul Scholes is in there. He's the owner of Salford City. Gary Neville, Paul Scholes. Interesting on the Gary Neville podcast. Gary Neville said, "This City, I hope they score few goals on the weekend against us." Salford City have been alright. Now Salford City have got a chance to attack. Seems like a fantastic tackle. Seems like an exceptional tackle there. Was it from a line? Seems like an exceptional tackle there. Otherwise, they would have been priced for penalty. Seems like an exceptional tackle. It's happened. Camera angle was a bit far, so I just could not see. Now they'll show the replay. Let's see. Why is this not a penalty? Right, a line slipped. He did not make any contact. He did not make any contact with the Salford City player. I think both of them slipped. I think Osterfield, the Salford City player, was anticipating the contact and he went down early. I think it's a strange, it's a bizarre thing, you know. At speed, if you see that from a line on the Salford City player, straight away you think penalty. I was like, wow, penalty to Salford, but a strange thing. The Salford City player anticipated the contact and a line slipped. The magic of the Etihad turf. That's what I would say. It's the magic of the Etihad turf. I think it was the Salford City player who, in fact, clattered into a line and not the other way around. Seemed a definite penalty, but when you visualize it, analyze it well afterwards, then you'll actually see all this. Bayaji is here. Hey, Bayaji, how you doing? Risky by Max in the box. I thought penalty Bayaji, but when I saw the replay, it was in fact the Salford City player who clattered into a line and not the other way around. But yeah, risky again. I think that's what they say. Defense is an experienced man's game, which means after 25, 26, 27 is the age when you really start to become mature as a defender. And sad to see Max Align go off. I think is gonna injured. Ryan Makaido comes on, which just means probably Kusanov centre back, Rico Lewis right back, Ryan Sharkey in the midfield probably. In fact, Foden on the midfield and Ryan Makaido is gonna go on the right. He was exceptional, Ryan Makaido last time. Bayaji says Makaido time. I wanted Pep to keep three at the back and he did the same. Great ball by Kusanov. That's not offside. That's not offside. Marmoush is not offside. What a finish! Ah, what a finish by Marmoush Bayaji. That finish deserved. That finish deserved being on side. That finish deserved a goal, to be honest. But the ball was very good. The run was exceptional. Let's see. Well, it's a little bit offside. Is a little bit offside. I thought why is this not offside? I thought probably it was a little bit offside. I thought it was a little bit offside to be honest because those lines that are there on the pitch. I think when I look at those lines, Marmos just went a little bit before. I think not by much. You're right. not by much, a little bit maybe. Well, Bayaji, what do you think? What did Bayaji says? I think their left back was playing and it seemed like that. It seemed like that Bayaji, but I think when you look straight on the angle, even I thought yeah, their left back was might be playing them on, but I think when you look straight on, it's maybe a bit offside. They didn't show us that angle, but I know I took the reference as the lines on the ground. There are these lines on the ground today. Today's a striped pitch. So, well, Bayaji, what did you think of Arsenal? Sorry, Brentford won and Arsenal won. What did you think of that? And what did you think of David Raya going to the referee? Uh, what did you think of David Raya going to the referee and complaining that they were pushing me on corners after the game? Again, I say Brentford won, Arsenal won. In fact, it should have been Brentford 4 or 5. Igor Thiago had at least three one-on-ones, and Janssen had a free header at the back post. Ryan McKaidu, Cusano. Why this is Omar has this offside problem. Gabby also has this, but Erling never has. I also think by it's the pace. It's the pace aspect as well. Since Erling Haaland is significantly quicker than them, I just think they maybe always think that I have to be a step, at least I have to be on the line. I think Erling is never even on the line. Is in fact I think Erling is in fact two steps behind the defender when he starts his run, and his pace and physical frame means that that's an excellent ball by Ryan McKaidu. Very good ball by Ryan McKaidu. Ryan Nauri, what a touch that is. Hang it in the Laura in France. What a touch that is. The touches of Reinhard Nauri are just outstanding. Tijani Reinders, the ball's gone out for a goal kick for Salford City. So just think with that pace, they're at least on the line. They're on the line, and so sometimes it's offside. But Erling is never even on the line. Is always. But then the best strikers most of the time they do these curved runs. Even when you go to people like Alan Shearer, I won't say Thierry Henry because Thierry Henry has pace, but Alan Shearer and all of those strikers as well. Even Harry Kane, when you look at his runs, he bends those runs. I don't know why. Marmos, Gabby, they don't do that. But the strange thing is, I think Timo Werner has more pace than Erling Haaland, to be honest. And he is offside the most number of times. That is something I'll never know. There's no explanation for that. YG says eager Thiago must be Arsenal fan. Best conversion rate in league, but had to miss everything versus Arsenal. And the chances, YG, the chances were absolutely, dead chances. You had dead chances in the sense you had to bury them. They were gunshot chances. That header in the first half where he hits it straight at Roya, that was a point blank free header. There was no pressure on him. Then he goes one on one against Raya, misses. He goes one on one against Raya, misses again. Then he goes one on one again, he misses. I think there are four clear cut chances he misses, and then Janssen on the back post misses a free header. So five chances. And then it would have been criminal if Martinelli scored that winner at the end to snatch it. That would have been absolutely criminal. Bayaji, now it hurts looking at those Spurs and Chelsea draws. Spurs were 2-0 down. The manager had lost the dressing room. There was no way they would recover from that. And then the Chelsea game, there was no manager for them. We were winning 1-0. Final minutes, Guardiola went off injured, and those two games. Now you look at those four drop points there, and right now we would have been level with Arsenal. And again, you had Brighton when we were 1-0 at that. You had Haaland had some. What a cross that is from Ait Nauri. Wow. What a cross that is from Ait Nauri. We might be having the two best crossing fullbacks in the league right now. Right now it is crossing. And Nunez crossing is just so underrated and it's unbelievable. We are having the two best crossing fullbacks in the league right now. People say Arsenal fullbacks, but Timber and Calafiori cannot cross. They cannot cross their legs. What will they cross the ball like that? Hincapie probably is a decent crosser, but nowhere near the level of Aitnauri. Bayaji says we should have been level at least. That's the term, Bayaji. We should have been level at the very least. In the worst of the worst case scenarios, we should have been at least level. Because how many chances? Brighton, Yasin Ayari gives the ball to Haaland, Verbruggen gives the ball to Haaland. The world's best striker is gifted the ball twice inside the box and he still does not score. Those are another 2 points. Spurs 2 points, Chelsea 2 points, 6 points right in there. In the worst case scenario, Bhayaji, we should have been leading this league by at least 2 points right now. We should have been at least leading this league by 2 points. That's how it is. Atnauri does exceptionally well. Wow, what dribbling skills by Ryan Atnauri inside the box. Vaiji, how it's looking like with Ryan Sherky and Ryan Aitnauri on the left hand side. They have this quotation, right? Do bhai, dono tabai. That's how it's looking like. Both are dribbling like a dream. Just look at that partnership of Ryan Sherky and Ryan Aitnauri on that left hand side. It's absolutely exceptional. Both the Ryan namesakes are just that's artistry in its pure form. Mortales is here. Hello, mate. How you doing? He says, why was Alliance subbed out? Injured. He pulled something in his leg, mate. He was injured. So that's the reason they subbed him out. And then Rico Lewis, right back. Kushanov goes to centre back. And Ryan Makaido was the player subbed in. He's on a right wing. Ryan Makaido almost reminds me of Leroy Sané in certain aspects. Good goalkeeping. Good goalkeeping by the keeper. He was brave enough to come out. Very good by the keeper. Good one there. It's a strange thing, A lot of pundits are telling that Arsenal are by head and shoulders the best team in the league. But best in what? Best in what? From open play, they're 16th or 17th in creating chances. Their second or third highest goal scorer is own goals. I don't think they have someone in the top 10, top 5, top 6 for assists. Uh, they are good in set pieces probably. Yes, they are number two in. I think they're the top team along with second is United. I think in terms of scoring set piece goals, they're top only in set piece sense. That's it. From open play, they are shit. You watch an Arsenal game for 45 minutes, and after 45 minutes, your head will be spinning and you'll fall asleep. It's so boring. They take the ball in the midfield, spin it more than Shane Warne used to spin his leggies, and then get the ball into the corner set piece. What a waste of time. When watching Arsenal play, it seems we are watching corner ball and not football. Absolutely disgusting football from Arsenal. There's nothing illegal from it, but it's disgusting. What a ball that is! His name is not offside. Should not have passed. Should not have passed. Should not have passed there. Should not have passed. Should not have passed. There was no way he was getting that ball past three or four people. Ryan McIdo, he just seems unflustered. He just seems. When I watch Ryan McIdo, it's almost like yes, I belong here. It's almost like someone making their chest broad and telling I belong here and playing with that confidence. That is what Ryan McIdo reminds me of. Because I've seen Cole Palmer play on the stage for City, FA Cup debuts, Carabao Cup debuts. He in his initial games he looked a bit tense and but with Ryan McIdo it's just what a player. He has the technical abilities and also the confidence. It's interesting. He looks like Leroy Sané through and through. Bayaji says they can't create at all. Man mark rise and they won't be able to play. What is this Bayaji? Second with Arsenal, it last week before Madueke was gifted that goal, Darlow, the Leeds defender, I think he was, or Leeds midfielder, scored an own goal, and for a brief moment, own goals was their top scorer in the Premier League. What, you're almost 26 game weeks done, and if own goal is your top scorer in the league, wow, wow, thank you. Their fans paying so much for their fans paying so much for those tickets, and those who are watching it on TV paying so much to Sky in England and here to Hotstar and all in India and other India. God bless them to watch this shit every week, every week. How can Arsenal fans watch this Arsenal shit every week? I tried to watch the match and it was absolute shit. Arsenal. Is that a penalty? I don't know. I don't think it's a penalty at all. VR is there and VR will be checking it. You know what, Bayaji, when City were competing with Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, I think 2018 it started. I think 2018-19 that season was when Liverpool really went at us. From that season for 3-4 years, there was always that fear that we should not allow Liverpool to win. We should win and all. But now that fear feels even more genuine because the more than watching that Liverpool team, because that Liverpool team was good. That Liverpool team, yes, we have that rivalry, but Liverpool team under Klopp, just pure footballing wise, they were pure entertainers. Heavy metal football, you loved it. When City Liverpool played, there's a statistic that the ball was out of play. I mean, fouls and all, the ball was dead the least amount of time. It was two managers just wanting to play pure football, and it was so entertaining. Went hard at each other, then had the respect. With Mikel Arteta, I mean against Brentford, it seems that the ball was out of play for almost for at least 10-15 minutes. At least for 10 minutes. I mean taking corners, free kicks, throw-ins, whatever. So that's how bad it is with Arsenal. That is why it will be a, I don't know, I don't want them to win the league with such horrendous statistics. Where are you taking football if Arsenal do this? City have been passing well. The penetration's been decent. I mean, Marmou's couple of offside runs, but right now, Bayaji says Arsenal's whole game plan revolves around getting set pieces. I mean, watching Arsenal this season has to be one of the most worst experiences you can have as a fan. I think people might even get PTSD watching Arsenal after this season. That's how bad it is. That's absolutely how bad it is watching Arsenal. Clearly, football is like you like to see high tempo penetration, players dribbling, players going around each other, and players beating each other for pace, high intensity, high adrenaline sport. That is what football is, right? And it's football is not, the corners and set pieces and stuff. It's not entertaining. I mean, Arsenal fans are not saying this. One or two YouTubers are telling this, but general Arsenal fans are not saying this. because I can understand how much it is, almost 20 to 23 years without a title. But this is absolute, this is absolute crap what Mikel Arteta is doing there. Again, for me, the question is again for me the question by Aj is how can you go from being part of that Centurions team, joining Pep Guardiola in 2016 and being part of the Centurions team that played one of the most exciting style of football the Premier League has ever seen in its history. How can you go from that to being worse than Jose Mourinho and Diego Simeone? Even they are entertaining. You see Jose's football, you see Diego Simeone's football. They park the bus, and, but they never weaponize set pieces. But they never made it this boring. Arsenal at this time is just a rich man Stoke City. That's all. Rich man Stoke City. That's all. If I did not say the position of Arsenal and just showed it to a random football fan who didn't know much of this league, he would say that they're fighting relegation. He would say they're fighting relegation. That's how bad they are. It's just one goal we have scored. Not starting to worry me a bit, but two goals we can get more of our youngsters on. Heavy touch by Sharky there. Good recovery by Kushano. It's one on one against the Salford City attacker. Kushano does exceptionally well. That is brilliant from Kushano. I think that's a free kick to Salford. Kushano didn't need to do that. JSK, Sherry, JSK, how are you doing? JSK says, what happened to Ella? An injury, JSK. He's injured. He felt something in his leg, so he was taken off. Ryan Makaido comes and is placed on the right wing. Kusanov, centre back. Lewis, right back. Sharky moves into the midfield. In fact, I think Foden or Sharky, one of them, have Foden has moved into the midfield, so that's how it is. It's a needless set piece. Kusanov did everything right, but conceded this needless set piece. What a save by James Trafford! Wow! JS says Lewis right back is a nightmare, but what a save by James Trafford there. Look at this. It's Benjamin would burn, I think, with this shot. What a save that is from James Trafford. Let us look at the save again. Wow, that is going in. What a save by James Trafford. City are a bit under the cost here. Remember, it's just a one goal lead. It's just a one goal lead. They're offside. Bayeges is again Kusanov giving free kick around the box, though it was soft. That's the thing. Bayaji Kusanov needs to iron that out of his play because he did everything right. He did everything right there. Got the tackle right. Excellent one-on-one defending. And then he had cover arrive as well. There was nowhere that Salford City player was going. So what a save by James Trafford that is. Wow. Magnificent save by James Trafford, that is. Wow. We are having two excellent keepers. That is the thing Kosanov will learn and needs to learn, and he will learn. Remember Kyle Walker having that loss of concentration very early on and when he joined City and how he is arguing that out, so same thing. Bayaji says if Newcastle or Chelsea come for Trafford, we must take them to the cleaners. What is the price? What is the price, Bayaji? You would sell him? Is offside, Marmoush. I mean, I think he's offside 3 or 4 times in this game already. What is the price, Bayaji? You would quote. I don't think Chelsea comes in for him. I think Newcastle comes in for him. The problem is Bayaji is offside every time, wasting his chance. That's the thing. That's the thing. He is offside. His runs are brilliant, but he just needs to learn how to time them a little bit better. This just tells you why Erling Haaland is the very best. He's the best striker in the world, to be honest. Everything he does is so meticulous, right? From timing of side runs to everything. Phil Foden, Baiji, the thing is, not Old Trafford, sorry, James Trafford will go. James Trafford will go. I think, see, Pedersen was there. There was a pathway for him. There is the pathway for James Trafford now because Donnarumma is 26, so I don't see. He's a future England keeper. He is destined to greatness, James Trafford. He's absolutely just destined to greatness, James Trafford. His ability, his saves, and all. I think he's going Newcastle. Bayaji says boring half. Koda Pahad Nikla Koda Pahad Nikla Chuha. Chuha bhi nahi nikla, Bayaji. Chuha bhi nahi nikla because it was an own goal. And that goal we were, I would say, it is not a goal scoring opportunity. So kind of lucky there, to be honest. But Salford City could have easily gone in front to be, I mean, easily scored a goal as well. Great save by Trafford. But yeah, the half was again, the half was boring. Pep will have to freshen it up. We had chances. I think it was Omar Marmos being offside time and time again. That is the problem. Exactly, the half's boring. There's no question about it. It was a boring half. Salford defended well, to be honest, but Marmos was offside a lot. It's a corner there for Salford City to end the half. This is interesting. I mean, like JSK pointed out, from when Rico Lewis into the team at right back, I mean, shifted position at right back to become unstable. It's not as stable as it was when Kushner was at right back and Alain was at centre back. Bayaji says the lineup is right, giving all of the benches game time. It's up to the players. Ah! For a moment, I thought that was 1-1. For a moment, I thought that went in. Two big chances for Salford at the end of the half. Wow. Salford in a blink of an eye could have been 2-1 any other time. Wow. He should have scored the header. It was one of the most easier chances he'll ever get. A free header on the back post. Who the hell is marking there? I don't know. James Stafford with a big save. The lineup is right by H, but the only thing I don't agree is putting Rico Lewis at right back. Ah, that just destabilizes the team somehow. Rico lose it right back. Now you look at it, since Rico lose it right back, I think that Salford City's first corner where they had a chance, Woodburn save from Trafford. It comes on a right hand side. If you see, Rico Lewis is nowhere to be found. Kushano has to go onto that side and defend. I think Salford City have had at least two, three attacks down that side. To be honest. Anyway, guys, have you read this? Fabrizio Romano just tweeted a few hours back. It was that Enzo Maresca is at the very top of Man City's list to replace Pep Guardiola if Pep Guardiola leaves in the summer. This summer and also the next one. So Enzo Maresca is the leading candidate. What do you guys think? It seems Xabi Alonso wants to go to Liverpool. So when Vincent Kompany is tried to buy in, I think will Enrique be available? I don't know. But what do you guys think about Enzo Maresca to City if it happens? Maybe not next season, but the season after, because it just seems, I don't know why, it just seems Pep might not renew his contract this time around. Will be a big day. Will be sad to see him go. If he does, I hope he stays. But Enzo Maresca as the manager, it's interesting. It's very interesting. What do you guys think? We'll just have a bit of water income. Bayaji says, I don't fancy Maresca at all. One proven and experienced winners like Enrique or Flick. The the school of thought by Ajay here is there are two schools of thought that are going around. The number one school of thought is among the fan base that look at what Maresca did at Chelsea, and he's not able to handle these big players, these big egos, and all of these things. He's lost the dressing room. He's stubborn and all. That's one school of thought, and then the next school of thought is and then the next school of thought going around is Chelsea is a club where there are a lot of internal problems within the board. Maresca was not given the players that he actually wanted. So that school of thought actually goes like, look at what Maresca did at Leicester, for example. And look at what Maresca did in our academy with our players. He was an assistant to Pep as well. I think in one of those seasons, in the treble winning season, was Maresca the assistant to Pep? I think he was. So look at what Maresca did in those kind of seasons. And especially in a that school of thought, what they're telling is in a club where there are no internal battles, where the board is stable, where the board can actually give the manager what he wants rather than putting him up with those 23-year-olds in defense and all of that stuff like they're doing at Chelsea. Maresca is a good tactician. I mean, the tactical ability of Maresca strangely seems to be highly regarded, especially by Pep and also by insiders at City. His tactical nose just seems to be absolutely very well regarded. What a few reports are actually telling that City insiders feel that if Maresca is given a stable environment, he can work wonders. They strongly believe that Maresca was not given what he was what he actually wanted, because I think you look at the goalkeeping situation at Chelsea and you look at those inexperienced defenders, Levy, Colville, Buddy Shield, Fofana, who's always injured. They're all an inexperienced bunch of defenders. You don't win anything with that defense and Sanchez as a goalkeeper. No. So those are the two schools of thought that is running around. Gotham is here. Gotham just here. The citizens. Gotham just watch the discussion going on. Gotham, the discussion is about the next manager. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted that Enzo Maresca is at the top of City's wish list. If Pep wants to leave this season or next season, because Xabi Alonso mostly wants to go to Liverpool and Vincent Kompany is not available till 28. So if Pep leaves, Enzo Maresca is at the top of the list. So I was just we were discussing about the pros and cons. What do you think about Enzo Maresca? I was just telling Bayaji about two schools of thought. You know, people believe that some people believe Maresca is not good enough, but you know, but if you ask me personally, I believe he was not given what he wanted at Chelsea. Bayaji says when Enrique, a two-time CL winner, is available in the summer, then why go for Maresca? I think Bayaji, the route to that answer is you look at the profile, you look at the profiles of the managers, the profiles of the managers that were on the shortlist by Ajib. Maresca was one, Xabi Alonso was other, Vincent Kompany was the third one. So my view is when I look at the profiles of those three managers, three are young managers. I think City after Pep is looking for a manager who who can last 10 to 15 years, who can go and build a dynasty. Because I think what City is thinking is if you are going for managers that's gonna go every 3 years or 4 years, which is generally how long the cycle in football is lasting nowadays, right? If the club is well run, it's three to 4 year cycles. If a manager goes there, then after 4 years, you again there has to be a new transfer policy for the new manager coming in. His tactics might be a bit different, adjust into the club. A lot of all of these. I think City is going towards a way where we want to have a manager cycle of at least 10 years, 15 years. I think that is what I feel looking at the age profiles of the managers on the shortlist. Xabi Alonso, Maresca, and Company. And also, and apart from Xabi Alonso, the two other people on the shortlist, it also makes me think that City wants someone who has had a bit of an insider knowledge about the club. That's also another thing. Bayaji says, yeah, when Enrique two times El winner available, then why go for this? That's the thing, because Enrique will not stay for 10 years. Enrique will stay for 3 4 years at the most, and then he moves on to a new project. I don't think City are looking at that right now. Gautam says, yeah, heard that. My feel about Enzo is a bit neutral. My feel is I'm going almost a bit more pro Enzo. Right now I was neutral, but maybe a little bit more pro Enzo, thinking what he had to face at Chelsea. Gautam says, Enrique is not available this year. Next, I think it will be next year. Yeah, he's not available this year, but probably next year he'll be available when Pep's contract is running out. Bayaji says we can give the stability to any manager coming in. That is true. That is true, Bayaji. We can give stability to any manager coming in, but I think City want to go in that mold of building a dynasty of 10 years, 15 years with the manager. I think that's how we are looking at. We are sort of going a bit opposite to how modern football is working. Where managers are literally sacked 3, 4 years and all of those things. It's interesting the way our board is viewing, the recruitment. Gautam says, yes, that is what the management is thinking. Long lasting, minimum a decade exactly. And also, it's interesting and counter to how the football world is going, Gautam. Because the football world, you look at any club, which club is thinking like that? Except City. So, exceptional long term vision, I must say. It works out or not, that's a different issue. It's another thing. Guys, having bringing in Pep Guardiola and thinking yes, he'll last for 10 years. But it's another thing bringing in. It's a completely different perspective. Bringing in someone like a Maresca and thinking he'll last a decade. Lot of things need to go right for that. It's not the same. Gautam says I would love. Gautam says, I would love Enrique, though his contract is still 27, 28 years. I actually thought it was still 26, 27. My mistake, yeah. It's still 27, 28, yeah. But Enrique is again not the kind of guy we are looking at, I think. Uh, by this is I confused Enrique contract with Deserbi, my bad. Exactly when I confused it, Bayaji, when I confused it. But Deserbi is going to Spurs. Is he going to Spurs? I don't know. Maybe Pochettino is going to Spurs. Then where will Deserbi go? I don't know. Bayaji says, but even Pep's original tenure was for 3, 4 years. Only later on he renewed every 2 to 3 years. That's interesting, Bayaji. What you said, that 3 to 4 years, but I think David Ornstein writes an interesting article on this. I think it was a couple of years back regarding when Pep was doing his previous contract renewal. Regarding, yes, Pep's initial term was 3 to 4 years, but City, right from the takeover 2008, when you know that story, when Sheikh Mansour, he handed over the Champions League trophy to Guardiola in 10 or something. Right from that time, he wanted Guardiola there. David Ornstein writes that yes, Pep initially signed for 3 to 4 years, but the club were quietly confident that he's gonna last longer. He's gonna last longer. We can convince him by giving him the best facilities. The club were, it seems, confident. I think that's how we are as a club. That's how Khaldoon is, and the others in the board have shaped the way, the vision of this club long term. No, the managers and all we are getting. Yes, initially after the takeover, it was short term for obvious reasons, but that's how we're moving, I think. Gautam says, De Zerbi will be going to Spurs. Gautam, the reports are maybe Pochettino to Spurs, I think. I thought De Zerbi initially. I thought De Zerbi would take over now, but today morning I was reading Pochettino to Spurs. Then maybe I'll have to check that again. This is just changing like this is just uh, changing like a casino there. One moment it's Pochettino, one moment it's De Zerbi. Gautam says Maresca was a pivotal piece during the treble winning season. Pep rates him quite high. Exactly, Gautam. He was the first assistant to Pep treble winning season. He has experience. He worked in our academy. He was the first team coach of our EDS squad for what 2 to 3 years. He worked with Foden, Palmer. All of them came, developed in the academy under him. He went to the championship and won it with Leicester. Of course, Leicester was relegated again, but yeah, he won the championship with Leicester. So that shows me he's a winner as well. He's a winner as well. So it's interesting. Maresca. By just Lewis plus cash for Anderson. Lewis plus second half has started, but Lewis plus cash for Anderson. I don't think they'll Pep will sell Rico Lewis. I think what Rico Lewis is 21 now. I If he bulks up a bit, he can. I think Badge is all right in the midfield. It's like when he's center right back, he's absolute shit. Jesus Spurs appointed Igor Tudor interim. Yes, interim. Nick Fadley says City. Jesus United will pick Enrique and will regret. It seems the board at United is interested in Thomas Tuchel. Nick Fadley says Enrique won't go to United. And that's the thing by Ajay. Like Nick Fadley said, Enrique won't go to United because Manchester United is very clear. They're looking for a head coach. They're not looking for a manager, which means the transfer decisions will be made by the board. The manager will have absolutely no say. You just have to coach tactics and that's all. Which Enrique, Pep Guardiola, these this ilk of managers don't like it. Imagine United not giving Enrique the freedom to ask for the players he wants. Never. I don't think Enrique will and Enrique will ever go to United. But Salford City are on a counter attack here. Salford City on a counter attack. Kushano's tackle is missed, but well defended at the end. That's a free kick for City. So Enrique won't go to United, that's for sure. United need a yes man, they don't need a manager. Gautam says, well, if it's for one season, why can't Pep stay and complete his contract till 27 and we go for the best available at that moment? I think Pep will be there till 2027, I think. But just for the reason that we are absolutely looking for the long term, that's one thing we won't go for Enrique, that's the only thing. Otherwise, I think Enrique will be available. Tuchel might also be available because he's extended his contract with England, but I think he will might be available. But we won't go near Tuchel. Julian Nagelsmann is also available, and strangely we are not linked with him. That's interesting. Julian Nagelsmann will also be available, I think, after 2 years. So it's interesting where the managerial this thing go. And also there's another name on the short list, fourth name, which is Cesc Fabregas. So these all four names are on the short list. I honestly think looking at these four names on the short list, Maresca, Fabregas, Company, and Xabi Alonso, I just think we are out there to find the next Pep Guardiola. Don't want to bring in a proven manager. We want to find the next Pep Guardiola. That's how it actually seems. Ryan Sharkey does very, very well there. Foden should have left it maybe to Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez had a better shot there. Gautam says United will make Carrick their full-time coach. That is the conspiracy. That is the conspiracy there, Gautam. That is the thing. This is a cinema that we have seen over and over again with United. Ole comes in, the players were play very well. In fact, they play so well that you think they're the best team in Europe. Ole gets the full-time job, they throw him under the bus. Of course, Ronaldo joined, all of that is there, but in general, and then, and then that's what they will do to Carrick as well. There's a ball out on the far side. There's a Ryan McIdo is free. I don't know why Sharkey didn't pass. He passes now to Ryan McIdo, but he was not offside. It's a goal kick for Salford. I think Sharkey should have released McIdo earlier on. Carrick bounces down. Gautam says, and what about Pep? Pep Linders, the coaching pedigree he has currently is the best ever for any developing or prospect manager. The team also knows him. He knows the squad. He knows the squad very, very well. I think even he's on the short list. I think even he is on the short list, Gautam. It's just they're not telling. And also it's interesting. City are taking a corner here. That is one of the worst set pieces. But Ryan McIdo, can he shoot? It's hit a Salford player and it's gone out for another corner for City. the Mechanic is better than better than Savio. That name Savio, it brings Gautam, almost PTSD. Almost Gautam still remembers all of those goals that Savio missed earlier on in the season. Absolute. Gautam is living a peaceful life now, Bayachi. That Savio is not in the squad. Gautam, your peace might be disturbed in a month because Savio, it seems, is nearing back to full fitness. He might come on. I mean, Semenyo, the transfer window has actually been signing Semenyo, Savio being injured and out. It has bought Gautam a lot of peace. Don't put that name. But yeah, Gautam, like you mentioned about Pep Linders, Pep Linders has been what, two or three press conferences, right, till now. When Pep has not come, the way he's speaking, you actually think he's a first team manager. The way he's addressing the media, the clarity of thought he's having on football tactics, and it's not a joke that he have shaped the pressing structure and footballing style for Jurgen Klopp, and also you're helping Pep Guardiola, two of the modern day greats. There are no bigger modern day greats in at least the Premier League than Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. So Pep Linders is also very very interesting. With Pep Linders, the only thing is it seems there's a bit of a you know temper issue. That's the only thing. It's a bit of a temper issue that is what they say about him, but we'll see. Yeah, Pep Linders is so literally, if you look at the entire short list of these four or five people, including Pep Linders, you will actually see that we are going after the top five best young talents in management. Literally, they are the ones, the top five available. And in that I can remove Xabi Alonso for sure, because Xabi Alonso is going to Liverpool. There's no doubt about it. The team there is set up for him. Frimpong, Words, Karkis. Yes, they'll have to buy a few centre backs, but Ekitike, Isak to play in that 3-5-2 system. The system is set up, and Slot is out of contract, I think, next year. Or I think next year is out of contract, if I'm not wrong. So Xabi Alonso done. Gautam says, if your name is with S, be a Semenyo, not a Savio. And in fact, and Savio, strangely, is the Brazilian. He is the one who has to be with a flair. And Gautam, did you see Ryan at Bournemouth, whom they bought in to replace Semenyo? He looks good as well. Why don't we get people like Ryan? And why do we end up with people like Savio? And both are the same price, by the way. Ryan McIdo, wonderful ball by Ryan McIdo. Phil Foden has to pass it. Ryan McIdo has to pass it. Reinders has to rotate the ball. Be patient, calm with the ball around the box. Be calm around the box. We need to score that second goal, guys. Need to score that second goal. We don't want extra time and all of that here. Phil Foden, they're not giving Phil Foden a chance on his left foot. Right now, if you need to get right now more into the box. Rico Lewis, Ryan McIdo. McIdo does absolutely brilliantly, but you should not foul him, Ryan. You should not foul him, Ryan. That's a bit of learning there for Ryan McIdo. He cannot foul him. Salford have defended well, to be honest. Salford have defended very, very well. Right now, I think our best midfield is, by the way, Rodri, Nico Riley, and Bernardo Silva. I think those three will look very, very solid. With Semenyo, Haaland, and one of Sergio or Foden up top. Or maybe when a Doku when Doku comes. Imagine right now Rico Lewis again. They're targeting Rico Lewis over there. They're targeting Rico Lewis. All the attacks are coming down the side of Rico Lewis. Down the side of Rico Lewis, in fact. Ah! Trafford missed it, and it's a goal kick. Nervy moments, guys. This match ain't over. This match ain't over. The pace might be slow, but this match ain't over. Yes, he's giving people on the bench a game, but at the Etihad, we shouldn't struggle this much against Salford. Come on, guys. We need to score that second goal. That's a free kick to City. Phil Foden has to come back into form. Pep Guardiola, interestingly, uh, Reinhard Nauri, that's a great ball. Reinhard Nauri, at Nauri, almost just wasn't available for that reverse ball. That's good. Phil Foden, that's a good ball to Ryan Makaido. The ball's early. The touch from Makaido is a bit loose, and it's a corner for it's a goal kick. In fact, it is difficult to control. It is difficult to control. Interestingly, Pep Guardiola was talking about the title race and all. I think in the match for Fulham, I think, and he was telling that he had players like Kevin De Bruyne, like Ilkay Gundogan, who could they asked what was different from previous seasons to this season because in the past title races we have just gone on that run. Pep says that uh, in the past title runs, he had Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, players who sometimes when nothing was working out, they would take the game by the scruff of the neck and put in worldies. I think in the squad he still looks for those kind of players. And for me, I think I was just thinking, who are those kind of players right now? Salford City winger, that's great defensively. Salford City are attacking here. Salford City are attacking here. Johnston using all his experience. So I was thinking, who are those kind of players right now? And I think one name comes to mind, Phil Foden. 22-23, I think was that season. Or 23-24, I think was that season when Phil Foden literally won us the title. 19 goals player of the season. He literally took Everton 1-0 down. Foden scores two goals. Brentford 1-0 down. Foden scores a hat trick. West Ham, last day of the season, scores two goals in quick succession. Great tackle. That is John Stones looks absolutely brilliant. Like now he does very, very well there. Wow. John Stones is really looking in his good day. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? It looks Salford might score. Gotham says, well, for the right back, we are interested in Brentford's right back, Michael Coyote. Gotham says, add Anderson to the squad in the right back, we are ready. I mean, Coyote and Givario Reed are the two names. Yes, I would love Coyote. I would love Coyote. Guy has pace. The long throws as well. We'll add an other attacking element. We'll absolutely add another attacking element to this squad. Michael Coyote and Elliot Anderson is definitely coming. You're right. We are ready. And his crossing is also very, very good. Michael Coyote. But the only question is you sign Coyote. Coyote and Nunez are your right backs. And for the two central and Aitnauri and O'Reilly are your left backs. Let us think that. For your two centre back positions, you have Kushanov, Gehi, Josko Guardiol. Kushanov, Gehi, Josko Guardiol, Ruben Diaz, Victor Reis is going to come back. Five players. This is assuming Stones and Achilles they leave. So five players and Max Align might be sent out on loan again. So you have five players for your two centre back spots. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I don't think long term we can just manage with Nunez and Kushanov at right back. We need someone like a Michael Coyote. Has fantastic pace, temperament is very, very good, mature, such a young age. Perfect fit for us. Good we didn't go for Livramento for 100 million. Ruben Diaz, Phil Foden as well. Add Anderson to that midfield, Gautam. Add Rodri, Nico Riley, and Elliot Anderson. Just imagine that midfield. Wow. I don't think there's any other superior midfield in terms of everything. Maybe creativity a bit, but great ball by Ryan McIdo. Ah, that's fantastic by Ryan McIdo to Rico Lewis. The link up's been exceptional there. The game's not yet over, guys. Bayeji says Foden deserves bench time. It's interesting, Bayaji. Foden's starting just after Pep Guardiola told those comments a week back. Now, we do not have players who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck yet. They're not developed to that extent yet, but I think Pep Guardiola realizes that if we have to go for this title, Phil Foden is the key because you know how Phil Foden can just change games once he's in form. He strikes from outside the box. The way he moves inside the box. He's clearly not in form, but if we can just get him into the form, we can just get him into form and then combine him with Haaland, Semenyo, Foden, maybe throw Doku in there. That front three, front four is untouchable. You need, and we have seen what Foden has already won as a title on his own. I think was it 23-24 season title. So Foden has that experience as well. So that's why Pep is counting on him. Pep wants to, bring him back to form. But just says if he doesn't improve, we need to look beyond him next season. Uh, That's I don't know, Bayaji. Do we need to look beyond it? Yes, last season wasn't good for Phil Foden for obvious reasons. He's told some personal reasons. This season, he's had that 4, 5, 6 match spell in the first half where he was very very good, and then he's tapered off. So I don't think we need to look beyond him, but again, I think with Phil Foden, we need to give him more confidence. I think with Phil Foden, he's a confidence player. I think once he gets that confidence back, he'll be unstoppable. I think they're showing some tactics to Ryan McIdo. Gautam says Marmos might leave in the summer. I don't know, Gautam. How do you solve this problem? How do you solve this problem? Because we want a backup to Haaland, especially right now, maybe in situations like this, when Haaland's injured, you want an out-and-out striker, but no good striker will want to come in realizing that you will play most of the time second fiddle to Haaland. You might not even start. But strangely, I think by signing Semenyo, we might have solved that problem because that's excellent by Ryan Sharkey. City are on a counter attack now. Ryan does. That's a free kick to Salford City. Nico Gonzalez getting the yellow card, but. I don't think that was a foul on Reinders. So Reinders has to be much more stronger. Reinders has to be much more stronger. I think even if Marmoush leaves, I think we can maybe groom a young striker, and Semenyo is someone who can play strike as well. I think along with playing on the right wing. So I think we have actually solved the problem. Bayaji says he's going backwards for 2 seasons, zero consistency. Uh, that's a good block by the wall. Last season I'll excuse Bayaji. It's almost like the last season. Well, it happened, but you could say you just cannot count because the whole team was shit. Lot of injuries. Phil Foden himself had injuries. Yes, since he's got that Player of the Season award, he's going backward. But what that Player of the Season award has shown you is of his capability. I mean, how many players are there in the world who can decide a title on their own? Who can decide a Premier League title on their own? I would say Mo Salah, not now in form, but in general over the last 5 years, 10 years, I would say Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Phil Foden is in that category. Phil Foden is in that category. Phil Foden is definitely, and all the names I mentioned are world beaters. So I think that's the reason why I think you need to believe more in Phil Foden than anything else. I think because he belongs to that rare crop of players who can can do that world class. Gautam says honestly, Marmos hasn't performed well as per expectations. I think Gautam, you can blame that on lack of game time. That's the thing, Gautam. No half decent striker would want to come to City playing as a striker because he knows for 3/4 of the season he will be sitting on the bench. Okay, getting Carabao Cup, FA Cup game time, but in general, he'll be sitting on the bench. So once you do not have game time, you cannot expect that sharpness to be on such a level. Yes, Marmos has been offside, but if Marmos has been playing regularly, could he be offside so many times? He'd be a bit more sharper. Margay, Ryan McIdo, that's a free kick to Salford. Gautam says he still hasn't scored an away goal yet. Bayaji says offer Marmoush to Atletico for Alvarez. Alvarez shot himself in the foot going to WWE FC. But Bayaji, if Julian Alvarez comes to us, where does he play? That was always the problem when he was with us. And I mean, even I would love, getting Alvarez in. I rate him that his finishing is even more lethal than Haaland. I'm like, if you create a player in FIFA with 100 rating, that is Julian Alvarez. His finishing is so good. But again, the question again remains, where does Alvarez play? Marmoush is at least comfortable playing off the left. Alvarez cannot play off the left. Alvarez cannot play in the midfield. He is an out and out striker. Pep tried him in the midfield, right? Alvarez did not suit him. He's an out and out striker. Are we ready for a 4-4-2 system? I don't know. Because if you're ready for a 4-4-2 system, bringing in Alvarez, where will Semenyo play? Where will Doku play? Where will Sharky play? Where will Foden play? So there are a lot of questions over there. So for one player, I don't think you do that. Bayaji says Omar scored at Brighton. His only away goal in PLO forgot that. Forgot that Bayaji. Forgot that. I don't even remember that Omar Marmou's first away goal. Again, good ball to Ryan McIdo. Ryan McIdo is offside there. He should not be offside there. He was always looking over the line. No, he just cannot be offside there. Salford keeper with a long kick. Gay wins the header. Makaido does well. Throw into Salford. Kadam just didn't exactly when I didn't watch that match. I think by I was. I mean, I don't remember Omar Marmos' first away goal to be honest. But yeah, thanks for reminding us. But yeah, with Omar Marmos again, Gautam, like I said, lack of game time, and especially being a striker, you would want that game time more and more. Salford, it's another throw in for him. Bayaji says, I also had to ask Gemini for that because I also thought, yeah, exactly. I think, I was under the impression, like Gautam, that he has never scored in a big goal, but yeah, long throw in for Salford City. Good defending, very good defending. We are under the cost here, guys. Ryan Sharkey has to play that ball. He's played that ball. Omar Marmoush with the run. No, it's covered by Salford City defender there. It's covered. Thankfully, Gemini remembers it. What is this? You're not scoring the second goal. Gautam says, I think we might have to look at the PL for a striker. But in the PL, are they checking for a penalty or something? I don't think that's a penalty anyway. Uh, I don't think there's an half decent because you just can't pick up any other striker as well. Mm, that's a difficult choice, but again, Gatam, I don't think that's a necessity that we have Semenyo now, and Semenyo can play as a striker, like is shown a lot of times with us. Semenyo can play as a striker, so I think we need someone who's comfortable playing on the right wing, left wing, at least on one wings, and as a striker as well. And how many of those players are there in world football at the moment? Maybe Osman Dembele is one, but he'll not be moving. Osman Dembele is one, but yeah, there aren't many like that in world football to be honest. Semenyo is that rare one where he can do both because his finishing is so good and his wing play is also so good. Because generally you have wingers whose wing play is good, their finishing is shit. Or you have strikers whose finishing is elite but their wing play is shit. I think Semenyo is so unique that he can play anywhere in the front three. Bayaji says we need someone like Javier Hernandez, Chicharito, Super Super United. Ah, which strikers? Callum Wilson would be. Callum Wilson would fit the bill perfectly, Bayaji. Then Callum Wilson. That's what he's doing for West Ham. Callum Wilson, he's a very good striker, but he's just a bit injury prone. So Callum Wilson would settle for that 10, 15, 20 minutes of occasional game time, occasional starts. Coming in as a sub. Rodri is coming in. Wow. Pep has realized this is serious. This is close to our best team, which is in the Semenyo is in, Gay is in, Rodri is in. Wow. Wow, Gay Stones. This is interesting. Gay Stones. This is the England national team, centre back combination playing for us. And screening them is the best CDM in the world. Wow. Gay Rodri. Sorry, Gay Stones. We need a good switch of play there. Salford are defending very narrow. Both, Makaido and I don't know why they're trying to penetrate them centrally. They're defending. They're trying to defend narrow, get the ball, and it is on the counter. So I don't know why we are trying to probe through centrally. We need to exploit, especially that Aitnauri, especially that switch to Aitnauri is just so tempting. Just switch it to Aitnauri. Get right now in the box. His dribbling ability is just outstanding. Rodri, he switched it to Ryan Makaido. Semenyo. Yes, yes, I've realized that, Gautam. I've realized that. Right now, his sub Semenyo has come on. I've realized that. I've realized that. I didn't watch the subs, and that's two. I thought it was 2-0. Uh, and from that time they were just switching the ball there. So all the time they were showing Mekaidu there. So I thought right now he might be available, but yeah, he's up. Yeah, just realized it now. Yes. I thought that was over the line. That was over the line. I think I thought that was over the line, but I thought that was over the line. We go. Bayaji says, I hope it doesn't start something nasty in the PL. And that too after winning at Anfield, after toying with Fulham like that. No, we have the momentum right now in the PL. It's strange. This season is one of the most underwhelming seasons when we compare it to the last, probably from 2017. We had one in the middle, I think 1819, so 1921. But in general, this is one of the most underwhelming seasons, and yet we are in with a chance in all the four competitions. We're in the final of one competition. At least till here, we have got a very good draw in the FA Cup, in the Champions League. We're finished in the top eight. In the PL, we are just 4 points. This is a strange season, I must say, a very strange season. Gautam says, still we win this, there's no problem. We have to get that second goal. Gautam. Nowadays with City, le- I'm thinking, let me just sit back, relax, and and just discuss about transfer policies, this and that, the PL title race and everything. Give me a match where we are 2-0, 3-0 up very early on in the first half, so that we can be calm and cool and watch it in a relaxed way. No relaxing matches when you're supporting City. It seems every match is like a high pressure one. Bayaji says this is League Two side. The season is inexplicable where we win away at Barnaba and Anfield but lose at Bodo Glimt. I was extremely disappointed by Aji. I mean, all of us were after we lost at Bodo Glimt, but I was a little bit less disappointed when Bodo Glimt went to Atletico, went to their home in Spain, and they beat Atletico at Wanda Metropolitano. This is a side that is in the top three in La Liga, and Bodo Glimt goes there and they beat them. Bodo Glimt has been an interesting side. I think they drew with Dortmund. They beat us. They beat Atletico. Literally, they drew with the second or third best side in the German league. They defeated the third best side in the Spanish league. We are second in the Premier League. They defeated us. Bodo Glimt is just an interesting opposition. That's 2-0 and that's game over. That's 2-0 and that's game over. It's Margay. It's Margay. It's Margay. It's Margay. If I'm not wrong, it's his first. It's his first Premier League goal for City. And wow, what a finish that is. 2-0, game over. That's it. What a finish by Marquez there. Good finish by Marquez, especially for a defender there. Good finish by Marquez. Wow, Bayaji, wow. Wow, Bayaji, wow. La, lal fool, pila fool, gay baya, beautiful. I'll say it again. Lal fool, pila fool, gay baya, beautiful. Wow. That is very, very good, Bayaji. Gay. Wow. What a finish by Mark Gay. Again, I don't know, guys, but sometimes destiny has this fantastic way of helping City, especially when it comes to defenders, and especially when it comes to defenders. Like we wanted Harry Maguire, for example, but United bid for him. We wanted Koulibaly, he wanted to go to City, and whom did we end up with? Ruben Diaz, who kind of changed our campaign there. Right, Makaido, can you get one? There's a good try from Ryan McKay, and we ended up with Ruben Diaz, who's done very well for us. Strangely, if Josko Guardiola wasn't injured in that Chelsea game, I don't think we go for Marquis. Liverpool get him, I think, next season, or I think Liverpool get him next season. We don't go for Marquis. See how destiny had worked out. I mean, I don't wish injury on anyone, but Guardiola was injured. We got Gay next season. Now you'll see that pairing of Guardiola and Gay. Sometimes, I don't know what to call it, but sometimes, especially for us in the transfer market, destiny just works out beautifully. Like we wanted Jorginho, didn't get him. He went to Chelsea. At the last moment, we wanted Fred, didn't get him. He went to United. And whom did we get? We got a third choice player in Rodri. And Jorginho's long out from the PL. Fred has already left the PL. It's been 3 years, and Rodri has become the Ballon d'Or winner. He's the best CDM in the world. Destiny has such a fantastic way of working out for us in the transfer market. I don't know why it is, but it just somehow works out for us. Gautam says, will this be an assist for Shaki as the keeper touched it? It will be a fantasy assist for sure, Gautam. But I don't think FA Cup. There's a fantasy for FA Cup. So, but in Fantasy Premier League, if you're playing FPL, they give you an assist for that, but I don't think it's an assist. And what is it? I don't know. The referee cancelled the corner. Bayaji says Lord Maguire, Fred the Red, Jorginho, Koulibaly, Chilean piano player, Aka Sanchez, etc. Gautam says, except for one fraud. I know Gautam, I know Gautam. His name starts with S and ends with O. I know who that fraud is. Bayaji says also Flopba. These were the players. Exactly, we were offering them the wages, and that's a fantastic run from Semenyo. And wow, wow, what a run, and almost what a finish that is. Wow, just look at that from Semenyo there. Wow, guys, what a player we have signed in Semenyo. That's a strange thing. Look at it. We got Semenyo plus Gay for close to 85 million, and Anthony cost 90. Anthony cost United 95 million. 95 million. Wow. That's how the transfer market works sometimes. Semenyo there. Tijani Reinders is just. He just can't. With Tijani Reinders, it's like he scores worldies or he just, hits them into the net. Tijani Reinders is into the T20 World Cup hype. It's also interesting, Bayaji, when we go back to 2000. 2010, 2011 sort of that season Mancini just came, or maybe before that when the takeover happened. Yes, I think it was in Mancini's first season that we wanted Kaka, but Kaka said no. There's this famous incident of Kaka, waving his shirt outside his home in Milan, from the first floor, telling fans that he's staying and all that stuff. Kaka said no to us, but that's what uh, that's what people say about this. People say about this club. Players like Kaka, who did not, for every player like Kaka, who did not believe in this project, there were players like a David Silva, Yaya Toure, Sergio Aguero, who believed in this project and came. And it's interesting that that's been the ethos of this club. We chase a player, but if the player does not want to come, it doesn't matter who the player is. We don't go for them. We only go for them if they're 100% sure they want to be here. And that Chilean piano player, he had agreed a wage for with us, and then realizing Manchester United are also in for him, he wanted to increase. He wanted us to increase the wages. He was trying to play that hard ball with us to increase the wages. We are not a club like that. I can understand the reaction when Sanchez during that time he called, for example, Tixiki, and he told them we want more wages. Tixiki would have said बिकाऊ समझा है क्या चल हट नहीं चाहिए तुम. That's what Tixiki would have told Sanchez. Baya just says, I hate it when a player laughs like Aina after missing a chance. Stanley was the same. Baya ji, wow, Aina, wow. And he does laugh, like a Aina, Reinders. And he laughs more when he misses a goal. I don't know what is that, but yeah, you're right, Bayaji. He definitely laughs like a hyena. Kadam says Reinders after Anderson will find it difficult to enter the team. I think for Reinders it's that attack. I think Reinders will be a rotation player in the box to box role, but I see Reinders more as playing in that attacking midfield role, cam role. I think that is the best role for Reinders because Reinders has this, Reinders has this incredible ability. I see Reinders and there are very few players who have it. He has this incredible ability like Frank Lampard, crashing into the box late, making those runs. Gundo used to have it beautifully. I think Reinders has this. Lampard used to crash into the box and score the goals. I think Reinders has this ability to crash into the box late. I'm not comparing him to Lampard, but that is what is and I think Reinders is also a world class talent. It's just the first season is settling in. If there's a mod here, can you please remove everything underscore YTU4S? If there's a mod here, can you guys please remove everything underscore YTU4S? Baya says Pep gave us the impression that TG was a box to box player in the preseason. That's what they also say about him. They said about him at Milan when he was playing at Milan. But under Pep roles evolve and everything changes. So your roles change. Like for example, Matthews Nunes came as a central midfielder, and where did he actually end up? Where did he actually end up with? So I don't know why that idiot was spamming our channel, our comments. What an absolute idiot! I just removed him. But yeah, I think roles evolve. But yeah, I think roles evolve under Pep. I think because that's the beautiful thing about Pep. You see, Pep sees in you what even you will never see in yourself. I think Nunez would have never dreamt to be a right back. So we just don't know. And also there's another player. I think Gautam mentioned about him a bit earlier on Swarnipan. Swarnipan, I don't know if he's in the subs. He's not even in the subs. I think, but Swarnipan played in under 23 match for us, and it was actually very good. He gives the impressions of being someone like a Frankie De Jong in that box to box role. His ability to maneuver the ball and everything is very good. So it's interesting with Frankie De Jong, sorry, with Swarnipan as well. But yeah, 2-0 done was a very underwhelming match. Yes, City won. I'm happy, but I think it was like Bayaji and Gautam both agreed it was a very underwhelming match. It was a damn performance, nothing exciting. But yeah, like Gautam said, winning is what is needed, and yes, we win and on we go for the next fixture. Liverpool face Brighton later on in the night, so that will be an interesting this thing. That one of them will be eliminated. That will be interesting. I want Arsenal to be eliminated with Wigan Athletic, where they have a match tomorrow night. That will be interesting to the mentality as well. But yeah, I think Ryan McIdo was the young player we were keeping an eye on, and Ryan McIdo was very good. Yes, he made some errors. He committed some fouls, but as a young player, he learned. But generally, I think he looks much more direct. He looks the archetypal Pep Guardiola winger, to be honest. So he actually looks very good. And McIdo and been a satisfying week. Been a very satisfying week. Arsenal dropping points. As I didn't even watch that Arsenal game. I actually slept early and in the morning. Just I opened it. I saw one and I thought Arsenal would have won, but 1-1. Wow! And then I saw the highlights and I was a bit upset because Igor Thiago should have finished those chances. So it's actually very been a very interesting and satisfying week, I would say. But just as back-to-back tough games for Brighton, United away and now Pool away. Might be City away in the next round. Don't want, don't want Brighton of all people, Bayaji. I don't know why these Spurs, Brighton. I just don't know. They both are our pokey teams. I just don't know why. But don't want Brighton at all. Don't want Brighton at all. Run on Brighton in the next round because that will stretch us. Let these cup competitions move in such a way that we play these League 2, League 1 opponents so that we can give rest to our squad because now Champions League starts again. I think what Champions League starts in 2 more weeks. Out of the playoff rounds are completed. I think March first week maybe we'll have the next fixture. So Feb is almost half of Feb is done. So exactly half of Feb is done. So imagine in that schedule if you have Brighton, don't want that. Gautam says for a Carabao final is very important, not just as a cup final, but also its impact on the PL. That is exactly the thing, Gautam. That's exactly the thing. Carabao Cup, the mentality, it's almost a precursor showdown to the game at the Etihad, which Arsenal will come to us. I think Mikel Arteta will be thinking about the game at the Etihad as as probably a 1 point. I mean, probably as a draw. Arteta at Anfield was dominating Liverpool and did not want to go for the win. He settled for a 0-0 draw. Arteta, with that Liverpool team twice, he settled for a 0-0 draw. Arteta gave up 4 points to that Liverpool team. Arteta lost with Manchester United. Arteta drew with the 10-man Chelsea. Now, except Spurs are not even in the top six. I mean, you look at the other top teams, the other teams in the top six, with the exception of Spurs because they've been shit anyway. Arteta is not winning the games against the top six, but whereas we went to Anfield, defeated them, we did a double over Liverpool, we defeated United once, we probably should have defeated Chelsea. So I think we have played better against the top six teams, in fact, this season than in any other season. But says too bad, Gay can't play in the Carabao Cup final. Fuck. Exactly, will Jasper Guardiola be back by then? Hope John Stones maintains his fitness then. Bayaji says, who knows, by the game at the Etihad, we might not even need to win. You never know with them. Bayaji, we might not even need the Carabao Cup final. Somehow, let us all bring our superpowers and let Wolves beat Arsenal. Not a draw. Let Wolves beat Arsenal. That's it. That's done. They will never be able to recover from that blow. They will never be able to recover from that blow. And I think that this actually happened by I think what it was 2 seasons ago. I think it was two. It was 3 seasons ago. In fact, it was 3 seasons ago. What Arsenal were 8 points clear of us, and they had to come to the Etihad. Of course, Arsenal were 8 points clear of us by Feb the first. You remember those matches they played against Southampton, which were bottom of the league, and they drew 3-3. Then they dropped points to West Ham, to Liverpool, and then we defeated them, and the title 8 point lead was gone. Is this the beginning? Is this the beginning of that run? Southampton was bottom then, Wolves are bottom now. Is this the beginning of that run? And and also Bayaji, we have another strong indication. When does Arteta's what they use, when does Arteta's downfall begin? It begins with him playing Kai Havertz in midfield. Whenever Kai Havertz is played in the midfield, Arteta is done. When this season, look at it. Arsenal were decently winning matches. Havertz comes shaky against Bournemouth, one just scraped through against Everton, lost to United, drew against Liverpool, uh, drew against Brentford when he should have lost. Whenever Havertz comes into this team, that's it. Bye bye for Arteta. But if Wolves can get anything at that game by Aji mentally, not now, for the next 3-4 years, Arsenal will not be able to recover from that. Arsenal will not be able to recover mentally from that in the next 3 to 4 years if Wolves can get something there. And strangely, Wolves have also started improving, so it's very, very interesting. Anyway, the game was a bit of a dampener. The game was a bit underwhelming, but we got our points. And more importantly, the discussion with you guys was super, super exciting, like always. It just didn't make us feel the match was a bit boring. We just enjoyed the chat, talking about the managers, transfers, about certain players, whom do we want, and all of that. It's been brilliant as always. Thanks Gautam, thanks Bayaji, thanks JSK uh, for joining me here, and as usual, it's been a wonderful chat with you all guys, and tomorrow is the T20 match as well, in the World Cup. A big match for India, and hopefully India win tomorrow as well. That will complete that against our arch rivals. So that will complete a perfect week for me. India winning tomorrow, and then Arsenal dropping points. We beating Liverpool at Anfield. Just see how well the week could be for us, guys. It all started with 75th minute, Sabozlai scoring that. It all started with 75th minute, Sabozlai scoring that goal, and I was like, they're gone. The title gone. What a worst start. What a worst start, worst end to a Sunday. What a worst start to a week it will be. From there, us winning at Anfield to to us then winning at Fulham and Arsenal dropping points to us also winning here, and with India winning tomorrow, it will just complete that entire circle. Wow, what a week it will be. Anyway, Kadam, this is always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, mate, as well. Mir as well. Bhai says how quickly things change in football. 15 minutes, Bhai. That's how quickly things change in football. 15 minutes. And you know, you asked this question to the wrong person. You should ask this question to Saboslai. He will tell you how quickly things change in football. From being the hero, from, from doing that blinking of the eye celebrate, I mean, sorry, this celebration by Saboslai after scoring the goal, to being at fault, offside, red card. Wow, 15 minutes you become a villain from a hero. 15 minutes, that's what it takes. Wow. That's the beauty of this game. The moment you this game can make you a villain and also can make you a hero. It can make you a hero, it can make you a villain. Wow. That's why we love football. And Mikel Arteta is trying to take that entertainment, that love out from football. So at least for football, we'll have to win this title. We'll have to win this Premier League title to save football from Arsenal's style of play and how stupid their fans are. All of that, we'll have to win this title to save football. See you all, guys, and take care.